Hello everyone! Welcome to this Sims 3 house design video. Today we are renovating this house here, which is called Mediterranean Townhome, and this is, as you can see, the front, and like all these houses, there's no landscaping. And this is the whole first floor, actually. There's only a half bathroom and then this one room, which is like the living room, kitchen, and then there's like one stool for eating at. And then this is the upstairs, very top floor bedroom. So it's just a giant open room with two twin beds in it. And yeah, some interesting color choices. And that kind of fills the entire third floor. And then this is the beautiful bathroom that the house comes with. So it has a black sink and toilet and lots of blue tile, but we're going to jump into the renovation right now and start working with this. So this house is called Mediterranean Townhome, and it's the third house that is in the base game bin or library that came with The Sims 3. So when you're in Edit Town and you go to the bin or library in the bottom of the screen where you have like families, empty houses, and I think community lots. The base game came with 15 houses that were just included but just not placed in Sunset Valley, and this is the third one. So this one is called Mediterranean Townhome, and it originally had 2 bedrooms and 1.5 bathrooms over 3 floors. It's a very small footprint, which you can kind of tell. And in the end, I expand this house to have 3 bedrooms and 3.5 bathrooms. And like the main thing with this house is it's supposed to be Mediterranean style, but it's like so drab, especially on the inside. It's like very dark and like just, I don't know, it's like, it feels like kind of like, to me, Mediterranean is like light and breezy and like open, and you have like light colors, and it's like very refreshing. And this house is like the opposite of that. It's like kind of depressing, honestly, especially just like the way the rooms are furnished. It's just like kind of not the most beachy Mediterranean kind of vibe, in my opinion. So I wanted to fix that. And this house transforms quite a lot. I expand it a lot more than I have with like the past couple renovations I've done. This one has a lot added on to it. So I wanted to include a courtyard really badly, and so I was trying to make that little like entrance area a courtyard, as you can kind of see with like where that table is, that like picnic table. I was trying to make that like a courtyard, but that was not going to work, so I did not do that. But I really wanted there to be a courtyard. I felt like it would just like fit right with this house, and it's like this tiny little house on this huge lot, and this lot is small. This is like a 20 by 30 lot, but the house looks so small in the lot because it's like in the corner and it's really small footprint. There's no landscaping at all. So what I wanted to do was expand the first floor a lot and make courtyards, so it kind of like creates nice outdoor spaces. So yeah, I ended up adding a garage in the front. I will move it forward, and I end up turning that whole first floor area that's like the living room and kitchen, and there's not even a dining room at all. And I end up making that just the living room. That whole space just becomes just the living room, which is actually kind of like the right size for a living room, as it turns out. And then I add on a dining room and kitchen entirely. So yeah, it's kind of like a lot more of an expansion than some of the other ones. I like to usually try to keep them about the same size, the same like visual, like, I mean, from the front you can tell it's the same house, but from the back it's a very big transformation. So yeah, this did take quite a bit of contemplation though, because I just wasn't sure. I like knew what I wanted to do with the upper floors. I kind of like saw like the potential there of turning one of the bathrooms into a bedroom, so I could make it 3 bedrooms and then just adding some smaller bathrooms back in, and making that top bedroom, which was just like this huge empty room with 2 twin beds in it, the master suite, and like having a bathroom up there made a lot more sense. But the first floor was a bit more challenging. I moved the garage forward, and so that room there that's directly behind the house will be the dining room, and the one that's kind of like the L shape behind the garage is going to be the kitchen. And I wanted to create a courtyard there between the garage and the kitchen. And I kind of struggled with it a bit, and you're going to see that whole process unfold. But it was originally going to be on the ground, as you can see. I added a fence there to kind of fence it in. And then it meant I had to have stairs, that went from the house down into the courtyard. And that proved kind of challenging because there's not a lot of space to work with. It's relatively small. The courtyard is relatively small, and so the stairs are like taking up a lot of space. And you'll kind of see me struggle with that. And so, yeah, you'll see where it goes. But I also wanted to find a fountain here. There's a particular fountain in mind. It's like a Moroccan fountain that I really wanted to have in the center of this courtyard. It took me a while to find it. The second, I was like, I'm going to stop recording and just find it. so I don't waste time. And it's funny, the second I turned off the recording, I found it like right away, naturally. But there it is. That's the fountain. I think it's from the store, but I quite like it. And it fits well with this kind of house style. So yeah, that's going to be the courtyard there, kind of in that space, which I thought was nice. And then you can see the dining room has the table in it, and then the kitchen is this room here. And so that is pretty much the layout, how it turns out. I do change it and then put it back. So I go through some iterations and trying to figure out how to do it. Yeah, so the stairs you can see here is where it got really wacky when I was like trying to put in the stairs. It just like wasn't working well. It looked silly, especially with like the upper floors and stuff, with like this like huge like indent into the house, and it made like the living room space really cramped, and the upper floor was overhanging a lot, and it just wasn't ideal. So I put it back. I kind of put it all back and decided to just raise up the courtyard to be at the same level as the house, and I raise up the garage as well, so it's all like on a foundation level, and that helps because there's no stairs. I was going to move the bathroom. As you can see, I got rid of it there, and I moved it back into where the dining room is. I actually put it back into its original location once I make the living room larger again by getting rid of the stairs. So I actually also expanded the house a little bit by one tile, and I put it back, actually. I only expanded it like this because of the overhang. Just like from the side where the courtyard is, it looked weird the way it was, so I made it one tile bigger. And then I changed the courtyard, so I put the house back to its original size on the upper levels. So that involved a little bit of reshuffling again, but you can see this top floor becomes the primary bedroom and bathroom, and then you can see I turned what was that bathroom up front on the second floor into a bedroom, and added 2 bathrooms at the back, and so that's the way it does end up being. I just make it a little bit smaller. And so you end up having 2 bedrooms, 2 bedrooms with an ensuite bathroom. And then, oh my, sorry about that. That was my phone just almost falling off the desk. And yeah, so then you have 2 bedrooms with an ensuite, and then 1 bedroom that has just a bathroom down the hall from it, because there are 3 bedrooms and 3 bathrooms, so every bedroom has its own bathroom. There's also a half bath on the first floor. Here we go. I'm finally making it the way it ends up being. So I put that bathroom back on the first floor. I got rid of the stairs, and I put a foundation under the courtyard. And I'm going to add a garage that's up on that level as well. So that kind of creates the closed-in courtyard. It just works so much better. And here I put the house back to its original size. So it took me a little while to work out exactly how I wanted this to be. Yeah, it was just like a little complicated, because this house, they didn't give me a lot to work with here with the way the house was originally. It didn't have too much going for it. So I was trying to make it look more like a nice vacation house sort of thing. It's like light and breezy, and has all these nice outdoor spaces. And yeah, the roof color also helped a lot. I changed the roof to, I think it's from World Adventures, but it's still like a red tile roof, but it's just like a much nicer looking one. And I also make the outside of the house like a much lighter color as opposed to like the yellow that it is right now. But anyway, you can see the roofing coming along right now. So you can see that courtyard is now enclosed, which looks nice. And here's the light color, which also helps a lot and goes really nicely with the roof as well. And then there's the garage door. So there you go. So that's kind of the way the house ends up being. I add another courtyard in the back here, as you can see. So there's 2 courtyards. You have the one in the middle and then one at the back. So yeah, I think it looks really nice. And I'm going to put a pool in the back one as well. So yes, we finally have the final layout and all of that. So now it's just going to be down to making it look nice. So yes, that whole space, as you can see now, that was formerly the entire first floor, is now just going to be the living room. And now we have an additional dining room and kitchen. So it's because like it's a 3-bedroom house, and the house originally had enough room. Actually, you know what? The house was 2 bedrooms originally, but there was enough room for 4 people to be like living there, because there was a double bed on the second floor, and then the top floor had two single beds. So technically you could have 4 people living in this house, and then there was just 1 stool inside for eating, which made no sense. I mean, I know there's a picnic table on the front, but that was outside, It's like, how can you not have an indoor dining space for like the amount of people that can live in the house? I don't know. And there's no good space for like a real living room. It's like there's no TV, I don't think even. It was just like really weird, and it was like incredibly small. So this way, each room has like a proper amount of space, especially now that the house has 3 bedrooms, which there was plenty of room for 3 bedrooms on the upper levels without even expanding them. They just didn't use the space very well. But yeah, so like the 3 bedrooms, the house can now, I think, have 5 Sims living in it technically. Yeah, 5 Sims now. And you have to have like room on the living spaces for 5 people to like be living at least, like not one tiny little room. So that's why I ended up deciding to expand the house so much, which I usually try not to do with the renovations like these. But yeah, now the living room is like an appropriate size. I think there's room for like 6 people to sit, which makes more sense, I think. Or actually, maybe it's 7, but yeah. And then there's a dining table that can seat 6 people, and there's a kitchen that has like an island that can seat more people, like in an informal way. It just makes so much more sense, and it's like, plenty of space, and it's kind of nice. I also added this fence in the front with like an archway there, which I thought was kind of fun. And I fenced in the side yard as well, as you can see. So that kind of connects from the front entrance, and also the pool area has a staircase that goes out into that side yard. So I put like some pavers and like an air conditioning unit out there, but not really any furniture. It didn't really feel like it needed to be like a space that was like really going to be used that much, because like, you'd be out by the pool. But anyway, right now I am figuring out the tiles. So I actually kept the same tiles. So you can see the tiles were originally that like terracotta, like reddish, big square tile. And I kept them. I changed the color slightly. And right now I have them as white tiles, but I do change it because it's a bit monotonous. So I brought back the pink tiles. I just made them look a little bit better. And yeah, I'm just getting some lighting right now actually, but you can kind of see all the outdoor space, which is really nice. And it's like, I don't know, it definitely feels to me, at least, more Mediterranean than the giant empty lawn that the house had before. So yeah, right now I'm choosing the door color, and actually what will be all the color for all the wood trim. And also you can see inside, I didn't mention this earlier, but the stairs I used are actually from Island Paradise, and they have like these nice tiles on like the risers, which looks really nice, I think. I mean, it's like a tropical look, but it fits the house really well, I feel like. So yeah, I use those on the outside too, everywhere actually. All the stairs in the house have that kind of nice tile on them. And there's the actual outside tile I just put in there, and I changed the fencing up top. Also, I did lower that, like, there's like a little column there in the corner with like a little roof on top on that balcony. It was like full wall height, so I shrunk it down with constraint for elevation because it was way too tall. And yeah, I also changed out the arches at the front, so you have like an actual proper width arch there, 3 wide arch. I think looks a lot better than the 2 wide one because it wasn't centered. But yeah, I mean, to be fair, when they built this house for the Sims base game, there was only the base game. So a lot of the Mediterranean or like island kind of styled items that I have are from expansions and from the store. So it makes it a lot easier. But I mean, at the same time, though, I feel like they could have done a much better job. Like all the living room furniture here is base game. So, but you can see right now, this living room was the entire first floor. Like that was the whole thing. And so now it's just the living room. And when you see this, like how I renovated it with like this being the living room, it's hard to imagine that this was like the entire thing. That was the whole living room, dining room, and kitchen was that whole room. So yeah, and I made it a lot brighter. So there's much lighter wall colors in here. The floor is much lighter color. Actually, I think I changed it, but I think it is like it's like a more like warm color, I think, than it was originally. The walls are much lighter. The furniture will end up being a lot lighter, which you'll see I haven't recolored it yet. And then you have all these like French doors that open up to the courtyard, so there's a lot of natural light. And it feels also very private and kind of like nice and like personal. It just has a much better vibe to it. So yeah, I also used on the courtyard areas, you can see these windows that don't have any glass in them. There's like kind of open holes. I think those came with Island Paradise as well, so I used those in the courtyard areas because I thought that they kind of worked well and that they kind of made sense, because it's like already an outdoor space, but it's kind of like nice to have like some windows there. And I know I mentioned a couple of videos ago, I'm not a fan of giant blank walls, giant flat walls on houses. I usually try to avoid it. And I know this house has giant flat walls basically on all sides, especially that like the back and like the left side of the house, like huge, just giant flat walls. So I tried to spice it up a little bit with some ivy, which I think you probably already saw me add. But I don't mind it too much actually, because it's not really the wall of the house. It's kind of just like a fence almost. It's like kind of used as a fence. It's like the courtyard, wall, so I feel like it looks kind of okay, and I kind of like how it turns out, even though it is a little bit monotonous. But you know, I added those little windows, I added the ivy to kind of help make it look a little bit nicer. Anyway, right now I'm just doing some stuff and things. I think I'm about to start actually doing the living room recoloring. Yeah, so you're gonna see how the furniture actually comes out. It's not going to be this kind of weird like generic colors that the objects come in, but yeah, so I went with like a very nice light colored furniture in here, and just recoloring all the other stuff in here as well. I actually do change the wood slightly, so I do very slightly adjust the wood tone, because I didn't think it really went with it's kind of like too reddish for like the yellow that everywhere else is. But with a nice light colored rug, you know, just like the whole thing was just trying to be like a little bit more beachy feeling and a little bit more like light and airy than the house was originally. But yeah, so just doing that, just more recoloring of things and various stuff around the room, getting in some more lights. And also, yeah, here I'm changing up that wood tone so it has a little bit more of a warmer, or not warmer, more of a yellowish hue to it. For some reason the stair railings were like giving me a lot of trouble here. Like it wasn't letting me recolor it. I don't know why. It was really bizarre. Like I could not recolor the railing, and then it like switched it to like a neon like orange wood. It was bad. So I don't know. I think when I deleted the stairs and replaced them, it worked. It was really weird though. Yeah, there we go. Yay, railing. I don't know why I was being like so finicky, but this is a little glitch, I guess. Anyway, doing the upstairs landing here a tiny bit. So that's just very similar. Oh yeah, one other change I made is I made the stairs only one tile wide. So the original house had double wide stairs, both going to the second floor and the third floor, and they took up a ton of space, very unnecessarily. And I feel like it wasn't a house like that was super grand. It didn't like need to have a double wide staircase. And so I shrunk both staircases down to single wide. So that freed up a lot of space and made the first floor and the second floor first floor and the second floor landing feel a lot more like open than they were, because the stairs were just taking up so much space. But yeah, so this is the powder room. It's the first floor bathroom. So I just adjusted it here. I think I kept the same wall color actually, which was the original wall color that the whole first floor and like most of the house I think was. So you can see it's much darker than like what's in the living room, but these are little bathrooms. I thought it'd be fine. And yeah, so I put the toilet in this little nook I created there so the TV would be flat on the wall. And there's your sink, but it's a pretty simple powder room. The colors are just a bit more or less crazy. That didn't make any sense. The colors are just a bit less crazy, a bit more or less crazy. It's funny. Anyway, so yeah, it just looks a bit better, a little bit more subdued, and a nice little plant in the corner there, and a nice big window, because the bathroom had tiny little slits of windows originally. So, I mean, the window just looks right out to the neighbor's house, but, you know, it's still better than nothing. Anyway, so just getting some more doors and stuff, and who knows what's happening here. So this is the dining room. So the dining room has the doors that go out to the pool area, like that back courtyard. So it's the only room that has that access, but both the kitchen and the living room open up to the middle courtyard. So kind of how it is. But anyway, that's a pretty simple dining room. I put in like a china cabinet and I think maybe some plants in the corner, and that's really it. So yeah, it's a very simple room, but it's nice. I want to keep it simple. As for the kitchen I actually did go back to using the custom content windows in here. I used them in the last house as well. I just can't help it. These windows are just so good, and I know they don't like entirely match the style of the house because they're very modern. You know, I imagine like, oh, maybe they renovated this at some point and like added these big windows. They just look so nice, and they look really nice over the cabinets, the counters. It just like the height is perfect, and it just like really, I feel like it made the kitchen look so much better having these windows looking out to the pool. So like in the last video, I'll include a link in the description so you can download the set that has those windows in it if you want. You don't need the custom content. I mean, the only custom content is just those two windows over the counter. So you don't need it to download the house. It'll just replace them with something weird probably, and you can just put in different windows yourself. Not really a huge deal, because there's only just two. So, but anyway, I'll leave a link in the description so you can download that set of windows. And I'll leave a link as well for the instructions on how to do that if you want to, but it's definitely not necessary to download the house. But I just wanted to include them because they just look so nice. Anyway, you can see this kitchen is huge, so much bigger than the original one, and it has a nice giant island with 3 bar stools, and it has, yeah, the doors out to the middle courtyard and the windows on the other side out to the pool. So it's like, I feel like it has a lot of nice natural light coming in from both directions. It just feels very like breezy and light and airy. I really like how it looks. And I also use like this kind of reddish tile, which I feel like it kind of goes a little bit with like the tile that's outside. That was at least the idea. And yeah, so just getting in some things and stuff, little plants. I actually put the computer desk in this kitchen, so I always like to have a computer in the house. I think it's kind of important, usually in The Sims, for there to be a computer for your Sims to use. So yeah, this one's in the kitchen, so it's just kind of in this little nook right here. You know, pretty simple. I thought it was kind of a good little place to put it, and that way your Sims can use the computer. So anyway, we're almost done actually with the first floor. So I just have the laundry room to do. So it's pretty simple. It's part of the addition I made with the dining room. So just kind of over in this area here. And it's actually the same size pretty much as that bathroom, maybe even bigger. It's really big. Usually I don't do laundry rooms this big, but it just ended up having that space. So there you go. You have some counters, cabinets, sink, and then you have the washer dryer and a little shelf over top and a nice big window as well. But yeah, I think it's nice to have like a good amount of space in the laundry room. Anyway, now we're gonna do the courtyard, I think. So, or we'll see actually. I don't actually know for sure, but oh, maybe not. So yeah, also here's the pool area. So you have a ladder and you got a diving board, and I also made little planters out of those little nooks right there. So I just used brown carpet and the same fence from out front, and then I recolored the pool as well. And yeah, so I mean that's kind of that right there. And let's see, I do outdoor furniture, maybe. So I got a couple wooden lounge chairs out here on this kind of little area. And then I also get like an outdoor dining area as well. So this is kind of where you can eat outside. And it's like a nice kind of enclosed private area like right off the dining room kitchen, which is really nice. And you have a nice umbrella there as well. So get some protection because there is no roof over this, only just around the edges. And also some outdoor lighting as well, and some pool lighting. So there you go. It's very nice. And yeah, that's, I think, that little back area. I'm going to put some plants in the planter beds there, but I think that's more at the end that I do that. There's also a plant over here in the corner too, actually, so that's nice. And I think now I'm going to jump over to the middle courtyard, and I got in some bamboo in here, which I know bamboo's not really Mediterranean. But I wanted to use it, so I don't know. I thought it was kind of like the only like large tree kind of plant that I thought would be like suitable for this area, because the palm trees were just like too much. So, you know, you got bamboo. I thought it looked kind of nice. It gives a bit of greenery in these little pots here that are probably definitely too small for it, but we don't worry about that. And then I also got a couple lounge chairs out here as well, so you can kind of like sit and you know, just enjoy the fountain and kind of the you know, natural air or fresh air and the breeze and all that stuff. So I thought that would be nice to have. And I just recolored those little windows. Oh, actually I got the plants in right now. So there's the plants, just some hedges, just to fill those little areas there where the windows are, and like a nice bit of greenery as well. And then out the front area, there's like this front outdoor space that was originally part of the house as well. So this had like a picnic table originally. So I just kind of put a lounge chair there, and I think a plant as well, and that's kind of what it ends up being. And I also moved, excuse me, voice failing me there for a second. I also moved the door from to the garage down here in this little area. It's like this little tiny like space between the house and the garage, like a little stairway there you can see that goes up to the courtyard, which I thought was kind of fun. And so that's where I put the door to the garage. It's kind of in that little corridor, because it didn't really make sense to have a second staircase inside the garage, especially since it was pretty small in there. So I just put the door on the side there. Anyway, this is the upstairs landing. So not too much is going on here. It's like a runner and a plant pretty much. And then we have this bedroom here, which was originally there. I moved the stairs and added a bathroom at the back. So it's a little bit smaller than it was originally, but it gains an ensuite bathroom. So, you know, I think it's a fair trade-off. And yeah, so I'm just kind of going for kind of a pinkish color scheme. This bedroom is more supposed to be like a teen's room, kind of is the idea. But it could also be like a guest room as well, pretty much. There's not really anything too specific in here that would make it not work for that. But you also have this like fun view down to the courtyard there through those windows. And there's also access to that balcony that overlooks the ocean. Both of the second floor bedrooms have doors to that balcony. So, you know, they both can access it and kind of have a nice little ocean view. There's a little couch out there, which you can see, a little outdoor seating, which is nice. And yeah, just adding a few more windows to the back of the house there. So the bedrooms get windows, which is nice to have. And oh yeah, I adjusted that balcony right there because it looked a little goofy. So I put a nicer railing and some columns there so it looks a little bit better, and an outdoor light as well. And I also put some windows on the side of the house because there were like no windows. So there you go. Also fenced in that little area, and I think we're going to jump back to the bedroom now. So yeah, of course I also added closets to these bedrooms, which I always like to do in these houses. So yeah, all the bedrooms end up having closets. It just took a little bit of the hallway space away, but not too bad. It kind of is made up by the fact I made the stairs smaller, so it doesn't really actually have any less space. I added the little garbage cans out front there as well. And yeah, so that bedroom's actually done, I believe. And so now we're going to do the small ensuite bathroom for it. So it's kind of nice to have that. It's nice that there's a nice ratio of bedrooms to bathrooms now in the house. So pretty simple bathroom though. You have just a stall shower, toilet, sink, kind of matches the color scheme of the room pretty much. So yeah, just doing that right now, just doing some recoloring and stuff. I'll get some tile on the wall there behind the sink so it kind of looks nice. But yeah, that's pretty much it, I think, for this bathroom. You know, very simple stuff. Getting in like little decorative items like the toilet paper and the hand towels, and a little blind there on the window, a little mat on the floor, rug mat, whatever you want to call it. And yeah, some tile there to go behind the sink, but that's pretty much it. So there you go. Fun. That's the bathroom. And then there's another bathroom as well. So this is the hallway bathroom, but it's pretty much going to be, I guess, for the other bedroom on this floor. So yeah, this is kind of more of a blue color scheme, and the bedroom ends up having a blue color scheme, so they kind of go together. I actually did keep a little bit of the original house in the sense that I kept the black on the toilet and the shower and the sink. I didn't do the sink black originally, but I do put it there. So I mean, that kind of carries through that original bathroom, which was blue and black, and that was at the front of the house. So that's now a bedroom. So I added this bathroom at the back. So you know, it's better sized because that bathroom is huge. Made no sense to have a huge bathroom like that. I mean, it's so interesting to me. A lot of times these houses, or like the base game houses, a lot of times the bathrooms are like literally the size of a bedroom, or like the same size as like some of the bedrooms. It's like, what? Like, why? It doesn't really make sense to me because usually bathrooms tend to be smaller than bedrooms, just generally. So yeah, it's kind of odd. But anyway, that's the bathroom there. And then this used to be the bathroom, this square room right here I'm working on. So this was the original bathroom, which kind of an odd place to put the bathroom right at the prime location, right up front of the house where the ocean view would be, because pretty sure this house, you know, it's a Mediterranean house. So I feel like it was supposed to be near the ocean. So kind of odd, but you know, so now that this is the bedroom, it can take advantage of those views and has a door to the balcony, the same balcony that the other bedroom has access to as well. And so this is meant to be like a kid's room pretty much. So you've got, you know, just kind of a fun ocean-y kind of theme. At least the bedspread kind of is like an ocean vibe, I guess, but it's blue like the bathroom is. So kind of all matches, I guess, in that sense. But yeah, so I just got like a little mirror there, and just gonna get some like things and stuff in here. There's like a little beanbag chair and a little decoration there, I guess, and a rug, and there'll be some toys and stuff as well. But you know, it's not a huge room, but definitely big enough to be a bedroom instead of a bathroom. So, you know, I've made bedrooms smaller than this. Anyway, so that's that bedroom there. And now we're going to move on to, I believe, the main bedroom. So yeah, up here on the top floor used to just be one giant room that didn't even have a door to it. Just the stairs opened right up to the room, and it had just 2 single beds in it and a lot of empty space. So I sectioned off this, so the stairs are now enclosed. So there's privacy, and it's now the main bedroom in the house because it's a huge space, so it makes sense for this to be the main bedroom. And I also added a bathroom up here, so there's an ensuite bathroom, and it just all kind of makes sense to me, at least, to have it this way. So yeah, just adding in the nice 4-poster bed, got the stained glass lamps, and the color scheme in here is kind of like beige and pinkish, like a dusty pink, I guess. And yeah, I have a nice mirror there. There's like a nice chair. You can put your feet up there with a little ottoman and a little side table as well. So That's pretty much all the furniture though in this room, but it is definitely a very nice size, very big. And I was getting a plant there actually, and a lamp on that table. There's also a little tiny balcony off to the side, which unfortunately is more of a view of the neighbor's house than the ocean, but I didn't want to add a balcony out the front because that would kind of change the way the house looked quite a bit. And I did want to keep the front of the house like recognizable, so I didn't do that. But, it's still a nice sized room. You still have like lots of windows that look out to the ocean. And here I'm just getting in a rug as well, so just recoloring that to kind of match the room. And another little rug over there. And also a little bookshelf, so it's nice, a little fun detail. But I think that's pretty much it actually for this room. So we're gonna do the bathroom now. The bathroom is a little bit of a challenge because it's very long and narrow back here, and I did want to have I wanted to have a separate tub and shower, and I also wanted to have 2 sinks, but I could not have both. So there's 1 sink, but there is a separate tub and shower. So that kind of, I wanted it to be a bathtub. That was none of the other bathrooms in the house had a bathtub, so I thought it would be nice for this one to have that, so I wanted it to be a freestanding one, so I kind of put it in front of the windows, and I ended up just getting 1 sink in the end. But there's the counters, as you can see, and 2 sinks for now. I'm just recoloring it slightly, and yeah, I ended up just putting the shower in the corner where the toilet is right now. So yeah, there's the shower, it goes right there, and then I think it goes like that. Yeah, the toilet actually goes in front of the cabinets. But yeah, there you go. So that is the layout in the end, and that's just how it ends up looking. So I'm going to get in a mirror there as well, and then of course little details, the toilet paper and the hand towels, and also some other towels to go with the bathtub and shower. They don't really have bath towels in The Sims 3, kind of all just hand towels, but it's fine. It still looks nice. It still looks believable, I guess, to a degree. But I think that is it, I think, for the inside of the house. Also didn't mention they all have horses in the kitchen, so don't worry, it's there. It's on the kitchen counter. You'll see it in the screenshots. But yeah, there's the plant outside, and now we're just going to do landscaping, and I think that'll be it. So just getting in some plants in this little front area, which kind of is also its own courtyard because it has like a fence there, and it's nice little paved, or like there's like little pavers in it, and there's a nice bit of landscaping there in the corner. And then yeah, the side yard's a little bit of a challenge to work with, so what I ended up doing is splitting it up by having half of it be grass with like the trees, and then half of it be terrain painted pavers. So because it's very long and narrow, so I thought it helped to kind of break it up a little bit so it doesn't look like just a giant empty space. And I got a couple more palm trees around the back of the house. So the house is very close to the edge of the lot, as you can see. Only 1 tile from the edge there, which I don't usually do too often, but I wanted to have those courtyards, so I was willing to do that. And yeah, just some more plants there around the front by the mailbox and stuff, and some more terrain paint and things, getting in some dirt terrain paint kind of under all the different plants and also under the house in general. I just like to do this just so it looks nice and kind of a little bit more realistic because, you're going to have dirt under a house and not grass. So just doing that terrain paint, but we're almost at the end here. So there's going to be some screenshots coming up. You'll see the before and after, so you can kind of refresh your memory on the house before and then see the after screenshots and all that in detail. And like I said before, you can download the house. In the description is a link, and you can also download the set for those windows that I use in the kitchen. So if you want to have that custom content, there'll be a link for that as well. And if you enjoyed this, I'd greatly appreciate it if you'd subscribe. It really helps me out. And, as always, I love to hear your feedback in the comments below. But yeah, right now we're just doing my general final changes that I like to do to the houses. So like the under roof floor tiles, painting black inside all the little inaccessible areas and stuff like that. And I have like a little plant on this balcony, which took me a while to find which one I want to use. There's a tiny little plant there. And yeah, so I'm just doing some very final little touches right now, just some little hanging plants. I'm going to do the garage details. So just some stuff in the garage there. And I also added this like kind of continuation of the tile down the front here. I thought kind of helped make this archway look a little bit less weird. But yeah, so that's pretty much it. I'm just going to do a few tiny things, a little bit more outdoor lighting, and probably recoloring the mailbox and all that kind of stuff, how it is. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So I hope you really enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you next time. Enjoy the screenshots.